Happy Easter, everybody. Our Easter long weekend was a little bit different and we had a few unexpected hurdles. Nothing major, nothing traumatic, just a few things that happened. So I just recorded it all and I'm going to put it in this video, but make no mistake, this is not our normal type of video. It's just one thing happened after another and I really didn't get to settle into nature and see the environment around me like I normally would. Well, this is a morning for us. It's Good Friday and we thought we'd be on the road. And John, being the good person that he is and good at maintaining, wanted to check and change the tyre pressures. We run at a different tyre pressure to when we're just driving around town. This is our only car. And he plugged the air compressor on and it's got a leak. It's not working properly.
Yeah, I don't know where it's leaking.
So he's fiddled around with that for a while, haven't you? It's still not right.
Still not right. And we've got our left tyre on the vans is down 20 psi. The problem is I can't pump it up. I can't find a hole in it. So what am I going to do? I'm not sure.
So John just went over the tyre and found a little nail in it. But when we took the nail out, there's no bubbles with the soapy water coming out of that hole. So it must have a hole somewhere else. I don't know what we're going to do, but it just feels like we're destined not to get away early today. Hey?
Or at all.
Or at all, yes, you're right. We're in a bad way with me, with the brake and the wheel thing. We've bought the replacements, but we don't have the right tool to put it on. So we've ordered the right tool. Now the compressor mucking up. And it's been a good compressor for us for all these years, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's just the compressor itself's working, it's just leaking up here somewhere.
John has removed the spare tyre, driven it down to the local service station because our compressor's not compressing, pumped it up, and it looks like he's replaced the tyre.
Show you where I put the jack normally with this thing. It's just up under here. That's your spring, and you got a little circle there, a little flat place. That's where I put it when I lift it up with the jack. Just use a normal car jack, yep.
Oh, fun times.
That'll be a man of leisure soon, so I'll have plenty of time to fix it.
Oh, John has a big announcement to make. A life announcement. Yeah. Do you want to make it right now?
Yeah, I'm 3 months pregnant.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I'm retiring in about 3 weeks, 9th of May.
9th of May, John will be permanently retired and we'll be free to go wherever we feel like it.
Yes. I think I've got 11 working days left.
How long have you worked at the Deep Space Tracking Station?
It's 3 months and 5 days when I finish.
Wow, that's something.
Right.
All right, well, I'm going to put the camera down and help him lift this up. That's the hardest part, I think,
yes, it's
lifting
heavy.
it up.
Just lining it up.
We left a little later than we intended and we thought we were off and going to go down the highway quickly. And what's happened?
Well, we're doing 10k an hour on 110k an hour freeway. We're not far from Yass. So everyone's turning off into Yass, I don't know, to that Macca's on Yass, I don't know.
It's a bit strange because we've got the radio on and no one's talking on the radio what's going on. But we haven't seen many trucks because it's Good Friday, so they're usually the ones chattering. Oh, well, we just have to sit. We might not be getting further than Yass tonight the way we're going.
Yeah, I'll just turn home and go home again.
We're moving a little faster, but boy, we have waited. How long do you reckon?
I'm not sure. We're doing twice the speed we were doing, so we're doing 50 now. Another cop must have been an accident. Police on both sides.
Yeah, maybe at the turn off to Burua or Cowra, and possibly been an accident. Good morning. After being caught in that traffic jam and the flat tyre and the air compressor not working, we got away quite late. We decided to pull into Jukion and spend the night here instead of keep going. We felt like we were maybe a little bit jinxed and it wasn't our day. Boy, I have never seen Jukion so incredibly busy. This is 8 o'clock in the morning. Many have already left and it is packed. We're actually near the horse enclosure because down over near the river, they're just bumper to bumper. And we thought we'd rather have a quiet night. So this was a perfect spot for us. Easy to walk up to the pub. There was another van just here. So it was nice and private. So today we're going to continue south. We think we've set our sights on Benalla, but we don't really know where we're going to camp. Bit better day today, Mr. Hal. No accident. Oh, look at that.
As we get past by a V8 Commodore being towed behind a Ram, I think it is. Not bad.
But a more relaxed day today, or the start of it anyway.
Well, boring as batshit going down the highway, though.
Yeah, I know.
Especially highway, just yeah.
Good morning. We are in Benalla in the showground. It's $15 a night. They say no facilities, you must be self-contained and you can only camp in this area here. Well, this is a bit funny. We went to cook dinner. We walked up to Benalla to the Woolworths. We bought sausages and rolls because we decided we didn't want to eat out tonight. We wanted a quiet night. Is that right?
Yeah.
And it's now 6:30. We just went to try and cook the sausages and guess what? What happened, Mr. Hal?
We're out of gas.
We're out of gas. So we're driving up into Benalla and hopefully we'll find maybe a Chinese takeaway. But it is funny that this trip just seems to be destined for little niggly things to happen, right?
Yeah, oh, shit happens.
Anyway, here we are, Main Street, Benalla. We'll see what's opened. It was nice until it was a bit weird last night. Firstly, 3 cars pulled in and they drove around and they lit up another camper's area with their headlights and just sat there until he felt really spooked. And we were wondering what was going on, to be honest, weren't we? And he come out and had words with them.
He went off that on there.
It's kind of a bit funny. We've been in this camp all afternoon and it's been nice and quiet, hasn't it?
I didn't realise there was even a church next to us.
And then 3 cars just pulled in and they had their headlights on one of the other campers. There was a bit of a disruption. And then the church bells started ringing in the middle of nothing. So I don't know what these guys are doing. But all the rest of the campers have kept to themselves and nice and quiet. And they've just pulled in and made quite a lot of noise. And then the church just thought that they would chime in. Bit funny. We're actually going to go into the van and keep an eye on it from there because it feels a little bit weird, to be perfectly honest. And I'm glad I'm not on my own. He's actually packed up and left because he felt uncomfortable. They actually moved down to the end of the campsite and they're camping where it says do not camp past this fence. They're camping on the other side of the fence and are well set up. And then this morning at 5:45, was it?
Yeah, about that, yeah.
Yeah, we heard absolutely blood-curdling screaming, and we both jumped out of bed, and there was somebody in a
having some drug-induced
episode,
I guess. And I went over and talked to him, and
he's got his hand cut.
His hand's cut. He's got blood all over it. And I said, "What's your name?" He goes, "Blair" or something. I said, "Your hand's bleeding." He goes, "Yeah, obviously."
And then he went back to Juba.
Then he went back to Juba. I had no idea what he was talking about.
So we have rung the non-emergency police line for Benalla and had a word with them that he's here and he's clearly in distress and he's still here. Some time during the night after we went to bed.
But he could be the Easter Bunny.
Well, look, the Easter Bunny has come.
The Easter Bunny turned up, so it could be him. He's having a drug-induced.
Maybe. I have a feeling this gentleman is not going to bring you something, but if we leave the setup here and go out for the day like we wanted to, we may come back to not our setup.
It could be drugs.
It could be.
Crunchy drugs.
So we have a dilemma this morning because we came here to set up. There's solo art, there's lots of murals, and there's good architecture here. So I wanted to come to this town and spend some time. But now, do we leave the van here when there is a tent over there with people clearly high on drugs? You actually have to pay online for here. You transfer the money into the council accounts, and we've done so for 2 nights. But we're not sure about leaving the van if we're just asking for trouble, really.
Well, it's only $15 a night.
We'll probably look for somewhere else, hey?
Yeah, we'll see how we go.
Yeah, I don't think we feel comfortable.
I'll go beat him up.
You don't know how many others will come out of that tent.
That's right, it could be dozens. Yeah.
And that's the concern. Well, we are definitely packing up and leaving. It's only 7 o'clock in the morning. The police have just come and they've arrested the gentleman over there that was causing all the problem. He actually, with his bare hands, has smashed windows in that RV. And I think the people down the end with all the tents are packing up. I think we're all packing up because there is another fella in that tent. And you just assume he's on the same journey. And if we want to go and look at silos and walk the wetlands and stuff like that, we'd be worried the whole time what's happening to the van. The police didn't seem that surprised that I was ringing from the showground when I rang. Like, they didn't say, oh, we get lots of calls or anything. But they also weren't like, where are you again? Or anything. Because John spoke to him and saw the blood on his hand and everything, they've taken our details and we'll probably have to somehow give a report to the police. And yeah, they've handcuffed him and just driven him away. At least he was compliant with them, which was good. The saviour racing over to make sure that the family was all right.
One thing too, I left my runners at home so I can't go for my run.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Let me know in the comments if you think John should have left the van and gone over to the guy while he was in the middle of an episode, unarmed, no backup, or whether he should have stayed with me while I talked to the police.
Our boys were brown belts in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, that doesn't mean you are. Like, John just took off to go and help to protect the family in the tents.
I went over to those people and I said, are you guys okay? I said to the fellow, you all right, mate? And he goes, ugh. I said, what's your name? He goes, Brayley or Braden or something. I said, your hand's bleeding. He goes, obviously. Then he started gibbering again. I had no idea what he was talking about.
But I'm just saying he could have been violent towards you.
I wasn't. I was a good, I'm pretty quick.
See what I have to put up with? He doesn't consider how upset I'd be if he got hurt somehow in the exchange.
You wouldn't be worried.
I would too.
No, you're right. You better buy yourself a new van, new car.
Oh my gosh.
Well, the insurance runs out next few weeks.
Here we are at the first solo art. Pretty cool. They must have a thing for owls here. I haven't seen an owl for ages. Pretty amazing. The silo's obviously still working. What a pretty little town. I'm just walking up to the beginning of the town because as we were coming in before the solo art, there was barn art, which I thought was nice. But look, it used to be a church. It says it's private property now. How cute. Somebody's probably going to make it their house. So they've obviously just burnt this paddock and all the birds have come. The rain has caught up with us. We're at Devonish Solo Art. It's a cute, quiet little town. Coffee shops here. Look at what they've done for Anzac Day. My gosh. Some people definitely are into crocheting. It's amazing. And here we are. The solo art is pretty cool. So this is a tribute to 50 young men and women from the Devonish community who enlisted in military service in the First World War, focusing on the role of nurses in service and how that role has evolved over time. Here we are at St James, the next little town. And the solo art is very distinctly different, but still good here. Before I have a proper look at the solo art, I just want to say I love the hotel and the architecture. That is a cool building. That's the railway station. You can see it's an active railway. But I actually come up to see this one. It's at a different angle to the rest. A little bit of rain coming in now. Well, I think this is our last solo art for today. And we're at Tungama, maybe? Very different. Really like it. I love algas. I'm not sure why they've painted them down here. I always thought they were more northern birds. But yeah. There, when we came into town, there was a river camping spot. It is packed, so we're not going to stay, but it's good to put it on the thing for next time. So Brain is the first Australian female solo artist. She used 60 litres of paint and 142 spray cans. The entire project took 8 days. Good morning, everybody. Well, this just has to be the weirdest video. I never plan the videos, but usually as I'm recording them, I can see sort of how everything will join up. But this one, not at all. We are just outside of Rutherglen, along the Murray River. It is super busy. There are vans everywhere. But we got a little lost yesterday. After the incident at the showground, we were really flat and we just felt like there was no winners. The caravan owner that got his window smashed was angry. the poor boy that had the episode. And yes, I know he took the drugs, but really there's just no winners. The police looked dejected because they were kind of, here we go again. And when it all finished and they said, you should probably pack up, we'll contact you for a statement later. And it was like, yeah, okay. And we thought, well, that's it, we're over with. But actually it didn't feel like it was it. Like, we went off and did the silos and we really didn't settle anywhere to, like, we looked at the silos and we enjoyed them, but we didn't really be present in the moment. I think we were both thinking about what was happening to the boy and, you know, like, it just played on our mind really deeply. So we got in the car and we started to drive north, thinking at the worst case scenario we'll end up home. Of course, we were so tired because all of that incident happened before 6 o'clock. So we were so tired. And a friend had said to us that lives in Benalla that they were camping here for the weekend. We just thought, maybe if we turn in and we say hello, we'll sort of snap ourselves out of it a bit. So that's what we did. Them and their friends were really welcoming, and we'd never met any of their friends before, and we ended up staying the night, and it felt rude to record because I don't know who I am or what I do. They had a big fire and we sat around. But we went to have dinner at 6:30, and John and I ate dinner and looked at each other at the van. We just parked at the back of them a little bit away and just went, I just can't go back over. So we crawled into the van, we talked about what happened, and then we fell asleep. And we realised this morning we slept for 12 hours. It was, nothing happened to us. We never felt in danger, but just the stress of seeing how people live a different life to us and the helplessness that we felt just exhausted us. So we slept for 12 hours and today we will head home. But if it wasn't Easter, I've just come to this little inlet here because, well, no one can camp here, you can't really get in. Yesterday afternoon, so many kayakers, water skiers, you name it, coming up and down, big boats coming up and down the river. The fishermen, no one caught anything. It was nice to sit and watch and to chat with people that didn't really know anything that had happened of that morning. It's quite steep down to the bank. And we actually have a friend that fell down the bank, knocked herself out when we weren't here and had to call the ambulance. Luckily, she's all good. But anyway, that's our story. A little bit different. Life can't always be rosy, but it would just be nice if some people just didn't have to struggle as much as they do. And I know lots of people are going to have different opinions on the boy that took whatever he took, but it's just the way it is. It's, I don't know what the answer is, but definitely putting him in handcuffs while he's still mumbling to himself and he'll never remember the consequences. He'll probably never remember what he did to that caravan. He'll never remember how much he scared the children in that campground. He just won't know any of it. And putting him in handcuffs, I'm not sure that's going to do anything. Anyway, hopefully he gets the help he needs. Definitely the caravan owner's going to press charges because he's hoping to get compensation. He hopes that the boy will pay for the damages, and I just don't think that's realistic either. Happy to be heading home?
Yes and no. For the last 3 weeks of work, they're going to be at leisure. You know, if you identify a UFO, it becomes an FO. And when it lands, it just becomes an O.
Oh. Oh, literally. Oh.
Yes.
Oh, I think that's a joke.
Not much of one.
You have to brush up if you're going to be a man of leisure.
And you're trying to find them.
And on that note, I will see you on the other side.